See you, Huck Wayne. See you, buddy.
Yeah.
Golly!
Oh, that was a good one.
You're a high jumper.
That was cool, dude.
I'm gonna do it again.
Can I kiss? Love you. Be good for Mama, okay?
What are we gonna do tonight?
I don't know. I'm gonna go deer hunting tonight.
Daddy's gonna be gone for a few days. Go deer hunting in Ohio. You'll be with Mama.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Fly with me.
Drive safe.
I will. Alright. Off to Ohio. Pretty excited about this trip. Hurricane Nicole's coming through Ohio and Indiana right now, which is going to make it kind of a nasty day today. Doesn't look like it's going to be any really heavy raining, just kind of a slight rain all day, which is probably going to be good for deer movement, honestly. I'm going to have to get on the rain gear and kind of be careful with the cameras in the stand, but I'm definitely going to hunt this evening. But then overnight, we're going to have a significant temperature drop, and I think that's going to be a really good thing for tomorrow. So really looking forward to Ohio. A lot of things are lining up right now. I just missed my gas station. Daggone it. Talking to you guys, missed my my stop. Oh well. Well, I'm pretty close to my spot I'm going to hunt at tonight. Still raining, just kind of a constant rain. Pulled over underneath this gas station here and put on my rain gear so I can just hop out and go. Everything's going to get wet tonight, but the deer should be moving. It's not raining hard enough for the deer to hole up, especially this time of year. So before I start in here, I'm just going to kind of talk to you about this spot. I actually was in here a few weeks ago. I came up to Ohio for a really short trip, just spent a couple days here and more or less scouted around all day, and then just sat in the evening in preparation for this week, honestly. There wasn't a lot going on a couple weeks ago here, so I just decided instead of spending a bunch of time then, I would kind of hold off until now for a good week of hunting in Ohio. So that's what I'm at, a spot now that I found while I was here a couple weeks ago. Essentially it's hill country, and I found a couple of clear cuts way in the back here, and one of the clear cuts actually has like a path that's mowed through it. And I use the word mowed lightly. It's not mowed, it's just a spot where they probably came in and logged and was getting the equipment out. And on that path, it's really the only way those deer could get through that clear cut, unless they're in there bedding or something. But they, if they were going to move through that clear cut, they'd take this path to get through, essentially. So that's where I'm going to kind of make my way into right now. Hopefully I don't get horribly wet, but it is what it is. It'll at least give me a chance to, scout around a little bit. Right now, midday, it's about 12:30, and see what it looks like in here, see if anybody else has been in here and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's get into it. Not sure if you can actually see that or not, but I'm about half a mile in here and seeing some really big sign already. This clear cut that I'm going into, when I scouted it, there's all kinds of big rubs along it and good scrapes. So all right, I made it in here now. This is the tree I'm going to get in. It's about volleyball size at the base here, and then it gets thinner as it goes up. Obviously kind of a small tree, but it's kind of your only option in this clear cut. This clear cut is full of trees just like, this big, about softball size. You really couldn't get in very easily. Plus, if you did get in these smaller ones, you wouldn't be able to shoot anywhere because everything else around it's so small. So this tree's a really good option to get right up in there. And that's one reason, like, I use a saddle from time to time, but I only think of saddles and tree stands as tools. I think it's crazy that people are like solely a saddle hunter or solely a tree stand hunter. Like, there's uses for them. In this particular case, in these little clear cuts, ruts or like in swamps where the trees are not very good, you know, I personally like to have a tree stand. That's why you see me sitting in a tree stand most of the time. Anyway, I'm gonna crawl up here and get situated for the evening. The rain has calmed down just a little bit, but it's supposed to go up and down all day. All right, let's get up there. Alright, I'm all set up here. I kind of show you around here. I'm just at the kind of end of this clearing in the middle of this clear cut. You can see right there is a little bitty tree that the deer has shredded. There's also a rub on that tree right there. Good trail coming into this area from right there. Those scrapes that I saw coming in are all back in this area. Probably 50 yards down this little clearing here. So there's also like a ridge comes up, and this road is on top of the ridge. So a lot of good things right here. I can't see very far, but yeah, you can see on behind me. I just got all this nasty stuff in here. So the deer should be, if they're going to move through this clear cut, this is where they're going to want to move through at. Today's Veterans Day, so I really wanted to get on here and thank all you veterans and people serving in our military. So without you, this right here isn't possible, and I tried to make sure I'm a citizen that's worth what you guys went through every day. So yeah, just wanted to say thanks, and can't think of a better way to be up and celebrating a Veterans Day but deer hunting here in this tree stand. This clip pretty much shows exactly how my first set in Ohio went. Whole bunch of rain and no deer. Then something kind of weird happened to the sky. Well, the rain stopped and the wind just picked up. I only got like 30 minutes of light. You can see it kind of getting dark, but everything got real red. I don't know if you can see the red tint to the earth right now, but kind of weird. Everything went red, like a lens went over the sun or something, a red lens, and it got super windy. I don't know if it's just like the backside of that hurricane thing going through or what the deal was, but it's a little bit eerie. Morning, everybody. Saturday, what is it, the 12th today? Heading in for the morning sit. It's about 5 o'clock right now, so we're gonna get in there, I don't know, maybe a half an hour to 45 minutes before legal light. I just left my stand and sticks up in that tree I set in last night, so I don't have much to do when I get there. That's kind of why I'm not in a big hurry. But plan is I'm going to set up there this morning and just kind of fill it out. I did pack my lunch in my little pack here. Just going to see how the morning goes and decide. It is now supposed to rain in the middle of the day today. I didn't realize that until this morning. But if I don't have a good morning, I may get down and end up kind of just scouting around for a little bit, looking for a better spot to set up in the evening. I got a couple pins on maps and whatnot to look at if I need to. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, it's officially legal light out. I can't really see yet, but you can see it's pretty dark, just overcast. So, same tree as last night, just less wet. Well, it's about 8:30 and it's raining again. Daggone it. I'll probably set up here for another hour and a half and then get down and scout for this evening. May have to take the Browns to the Super Bowl as well. Yeah, this sucks pretty bad. It's like 35 degrees and raining. Raining real hard too. It wasn't supposed to do this till like 11 o'clock, I didn't think. Fun times. Alright, so this rain's gonna get heavier here in just about an hour, so I think I'm gonna maybe get down and I'm gonna have to go change. I mean, I'm soaked. So I'm gonna get down, get all my crap out of here, and then I'm gonna go change to the hotel and then come back and do some scouting as long as the rain isn't too bad. But I can't, I have to go back and change. I'd freeze to death in this wet stuff tonight. Good old weather. It's never right. Walking back to the truck here. That's something big. That right there is chest high, almost shoulder high. Oh, I may just be a little bit off here. I may need to come back to this area this evening and kind of make my way back. So, just right behind me there is the road, that road I was walking on, that big rub. I kind of looked across the road here and you can see rub there, and a rub there. That tree's pushed over. Like a deer could have done that, but yeah, so maybe that's the ticket. Maybe they're, I would imagine they're going to come from, well, there's a big rubber over there too, come from that way and then make their way down, just the way I've seen how deer use this property, being on it just a few times. But it seems like they like to be kind of up in there and then make their way down this way of an evening. But they also could be coming off that hill up there too. It just seems like to me the direction of travel is from there to there, just from the direction the rubs are facing here. You can see all through here too, just tracks everywhere. Which, with the doe numbers, I mean, look here, all these, with the numbers of deer here being lower, finding that many tracks is probably something significant. So I may even just put my pack down here and just scout up in here a little bit while it's raining and nasty. Okay, I followed a deer trail through that pine planting up there, and I got to this point that I'm on now, and it actually looks really good. Those pines are up there, and that point goes this way, and there's a really good deer trail right through here that circles around. It goes up to those pines. I think if I stay here tonight, my wind's coming like this, I'd probably get up in this clump of trees right here, probably right back in here, because there's also a really good like creek bottom down in there I could kind of glass while I'm sitting up there. And then if anything would come down through here, I'd have a nice and close shot. And obviously if anything would be walking right down in there too, I'd have a shot as well. So this is an option. I'm not convinced this is where that buck is traveling to, but I'm gonna go back up to those pines, and there was another trail that kind of went off the other way. I'm gonna investigate it and then go get in some dry clothes. All right, so I was confusing myself a little bit because where I was scouting at was right up in here. These are I'm on the edge of this pine tree, whatever, planting here, and all that buck sign was right over here, over there by that road. And when I followed this up, I really wasn't seeing the buck sign that I wanted to see, but I noticed that there's like a little military crest down this ridge right here, and it goes pretty much from north to south on the edge of this ridge, and that point goes that way, and the point's right up there is where I suspect they're bedding at. And I just, like, for there to be that much big sign over here, I would think I'd see something up in there. I didn't. Well, I kind of backtracked and started all over, and I got to walking kind of down this way a little bit down the road, and all of a sudden more buck sign was popping up down through here. And then
I noticed a really beat trail that came right through here, parallel on this road, and then it just circles around. And that tree I picked out is actually right over there. So my gut feeling of those deer, the bucks using that little military crest on the side of that ridge, I think was accurate. So it just kind of confirmed my thinking whenever I was up there looking around. So, all right, now I'm done. That's where I'm going to set it tonight. Let's go get dry. Here's the buck sign that was tipping me off. There's some right there. And then that tree right there has a rub on it too. And that other sign is right up there. So that deer was just parallel in this road. Probably to go up and meet with those does. Where all those does are crossing the creek up there, or the road up there.
All right. Got a fresh change of clothes, got rid of all this wet stuff, and heading in. Rain's supposed to be done for the entirety of the trip, so hopefully that is the case. The temperatures are colder right now than they've been all day. I'm excited to get in the stand, so let's get going.
Golly, man. I literally just stepped off this road, and a doe was bedded, like, right there. And she lost her mind. She probably blew 4 or 5 times. I'm gonna sneak up in here and maybe push a little bit farther in, and then get set up. She about ran me over. Like she was bedded right there. When she got up, she like went around here, right in front of that briar bush at about, I don't know, 4 yards right there, and then went up that way. I think she was bedded there. I didn't see her running through here or anything, so. Oh well. Dang it. Something just ran right up through there. Frick. I knew that doe wasn't alone. Frick. I thought it was weird. I thought it was weird that she was alone. And sure enough, there was a buck behind her. Honestly, it didn't look like a big one though, so. I think I'm just gonna set up here. Though that deer I saw is not the one making these rubs in here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a great big rub on a tree right there. That's chest high. That is not that deer I saw. That thing actually looks smaller than the doe I saw, so I think I'm going to get in this tree right here, this double trunk one, and sit in this one here. So I'll have some cover from this one in my back in front of me. I'm going to sit here and just kind of look around a little bit, make sure I don't see a better tree, but I think this is the one I need to be in. I'm all set up now. So I'll show you kind of what is in my mind right now. So this is a long point that ends over there about 150 yards. There's a really good trail coming down through here on this little military crest that you probably can't see on video, but it's a real subtle military crest right through here. And it goes around that corner that you can see right there and along the road. And that road is where we saw all those rubs at this morning. Now, as I was walking in here, I also saw a big rub right here on this, that pine right there. So, that does kind of confirm to me that this is probably the way the buck likes to travel out of here, instead of being up there in the open where those does were. I'm not that far from the road. I don't know if you can hear that truck driving down the road or not, but that I did see another deer up here that that spooked when I came down in here. But it was right up in there in those pines, and that doe I walked in on was right over here, not very far. I honestly, it looked like a small-bodied deer. I couldn't tell much about it, so I hope it wasn't the buck. I don't think it would have been the buck making those big rubs. So if it was a buck, it was probably a small one. Nonetheless, though, I could probably sit here in the morning also and see if, see what, if it comes back in tonight or tomorrow morning. So, all right, that's enough talking. Let's get to hunting. I was going to talk about my setup a little bit. It was really wonky and kind of really hard to get up in here. But I'm on a split tree. And the reason I picked this tree is not the best, like, climbing tree or anything. But I was going to get down in one of these trees down in here. But in the hill country, I'm very conscious of, like, where my eyes are going to be to the deer. So if I would have gotten a tree down there, I would have literally probably been 10 feet lower. And I would have been almost eye level with the deer going on this trail right here. Now, I do have this big tree right in front of me, which is pretty inconvenient, but I think I can use it as cover. And if a buck comes down through here, I can shoot around it like this. Or I can wait until it draw whenever it gets behind this tree and then shoot him right here, which is probably what I'll end up doing. He also looks like maybe he could come and he's been rubbing on that tree, so if he comes down in there, I'll have a shot too. A lot of times in hill country, it's really hard to find good cover. So you got to get in these weird little trees like this every now and again. And yeah. Exactly why he turned around and went the other way. But that was a good one. Dang it. He got to about 30 yards, and I was going to let him come in at about 20 and shoot him. And you never know. He came exactly where I thought they would come from. He may sit here and he may come back through. It's not even 4 o'clock yet, so there's still time.
I had found myself a really good spot that the bucks were using to cruise, and I spent the next day and a half setting in the same area, jumping around to different trees based on the thermals and the wind. But after that first shooter came through, I really didn't see another buck that I wanted to shoot, so I decided to change locations after my second morning sit in this area during the middle of the day. All right, all packed up and heading up the hills to do some more scouting. Sign's looking pretty good back in here.
6 or 8 of those type of bucks here. There's a big buck coming in. Okay, so I was walking to this next spot, and literally almost where my pen is, there was 2 giants, and they're not happy with each other. All right, so those deer ran right up through there, and there's a gap in the clear cut that they ran into. I have to imagine they're going to come back out here tonight, at least one of them, so I'm going to hurry up and get in the tree and then get set up and wait for this evening. I'm all set back up now. I'll show you around. So the pen I had for this spot was literally right there on that ridge that comes down. Those bucks were right over there when I saw them, and you could see their tracks. I don't know if you can kind of see where they jumped around right there, but they both went there and went up in that little gap that's right over there. Well, right over there in the clear cut. So this is essentially where I was gonna set at. Glad I got here when I did. They had no idea I was here. I mean, both of them just walked off, kind of chasing each other off and back and forth. So I never saw a doe. I'm sure there's one probably in this clear cut or something that they're arguing about. And, you know, it's let me look what time it is. It's about 12:30. So I'm sitting here like just thinking about my life, I guess, or just years gone by. And this is my 23rd deer season, I think. Something like that. And I'm like thinking about like what's changed for me since then. And one thing, like, definitely time, right? Like 23 years, it's a long time to do anything. And I'm always thinking like, what have I learned from them? And it's like a bunch of stuff, you know, like a bunch of stuff. But I think like the most important thing you learn is how to be uncomfortable. That's definitely what it is. Like going slow is uncomfortable sometimes, but you learn to love going slow. Like thinking through things is not always that fun. It can be kind of mind-numbing when it comes to big deer. But you know, you learn to love that too. You know, maybe when I was younger, man, I hated sitting for a long time. But sometimes you have to, and I'm sitting up here at whatever all day, and I start to like kind of like it, you know. I don't have cell phone service. I don't have anybody emailing me or texting me or Facebook messaging me, and I'm just sitting here thinking. There's all kinds of things, you know. You learn that like eventually all the stuff that's uncomfortable is going to be over, and at the end of that of uncomfort is usually success. So I kind of like being uncomfortable anymore. Meh. sure though. 320. I think I'm gonna look at this shot on the camera and then go look at my arrow. I couldn't tell. Yes! He was about 30 yards, which is a little farther than I wanted to shoot him, but he wasn't out of range, that's for sure. All right, I just got out of my stand. I'm just gonna crawl up here and see what the arrow looks like. All right, so I couldn't find my arrow up by where I shot him at, and I was like super convinced that I would have made a pass through. Well, I looked down the trail where he went. Look how much of that didn't go through him. I think I'm gonna back out of here and go look on my computer at the shot and see if I can see anything from it, and then come back in the morning, because this is not a good sign. So I was walking out here, and I went and decided to grab my arrow and just put it in my quiver. And I looked down and there's a buck standing down here in this little valley. It didn't look as big as the one I shot though. But it could have been him, I don't know, I only saw him for a second. If that was him, he was alive and well, he's just walking around down there. Kind of hard to believe he'd stop right there though after being shot. That's only 100 yards from where I shot him at. Okay. You guys aren't gonna believe this. I just walked up on my buck. Oh my gosh, guys. Is this real life? What? I'm so confused. I went from thinking he's alive to he's laying here on the ground right now. Holy cow. I literally got 6 inches of penetration, no blood. I was walking out trying to take the safe way out. I had to go his direction to get out, but I was trying to be quiet down this creek right here. And I look over. Yes! Oh, what is going on? I don't know how he died. God, looking out for me is what's happening right now. Oh yeah, it's a nice 8-pointer. Holy cow. What? I'm so confused. I mean, there was no blood, nothing. Let's flip him over here. I hit him right here. Got a buck down in Ohio, first Ohio buck. All right, let me get myself organized here, and I'll get back with you. All right, here he is, just a clean 8-pointer. So I'm almost certain this is the smaller of the 2 bucks I saw when I was walking up there to scout midday today. And it's just like, as it is almost every time you shoot one, it's just like right place at the right time. And
I just got fortunate enough to sneak up on these guys when I was walking. That's why like midday when I'm scouting, I do try to be like quiet and sneaky, especially during a rut whenever bucks are kind of on their feet all day. Yep. What was unique about that area that I probably didn't do a good job explaining on the video is if you think about like a point in a marsh, that's what was happening up there with the clear cut. There was actually some hardwoods that went out into that clear cut that would like funnel deer into that clear cut. And that's exactly where he came out of, is that point. I was sitting back a little bit because there was also some good good paths going into the clear cut right where I was sitting at there. But yeah, this guy came back through and I was in the right mood to shoot me a nice 8 points. So yeah, I tell you what, guys, I got Michigan tags still, but this is 4 bucks this year. It's been a great year. Couldn't happen at a better time. So you got to say thanks to all you guys for like supporting what we do, watching before the echo, and all that. It's because you guys watch this stuff is why I get to live my dream for at least a little bit here. Yeah, cool. Now I got to get him out of here. I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably gutting him, because I got all day tomorrow. I'm going to gut him. I got 2 jackets in my, I probably just put 1 jacket over him and then work on getting him out of here tomorrow. I'm not going to mount him, so it'll probably be a pack out. I'll be able to get everything off of him and pack him out here. I can start in the morning and be home tomorrow for dinner. Huck Wayne, I'm coming home. I wish I could show you guys a little more, but the broadhead, it went through him enough to get, it deflated both lungs actually, and the top of the heart had a cut in it too. So it went in, must have went in a little farther than I thought, and ended up getting, you know, the broadhead, the tip of it was in the other lung, just barely sticking in the lung and all the way through the other one, and then the top of the heart. So that's why I only ran 100 yards downhill. So I drug him away from the gut pile and just put my jackets over him, and he'll be just fine out there tonight. And then I'll have tomorrow to take my time getting him out and everything. Walking out, found one of his rubs in a balloon. There's your answer. That's why I set up on him. Found a rub and a balloon. Deadly combination. Morning, everybody. Beautiful day to go drag a deer out the woods. It's gonna be raining, but got my raincoat on. He'll be all right. Let's get in there and get him out. All right, got him in the back of the truck. That's the end of my Ohio story. If you guys like the videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button and go to Before the Echo and subscribe to that channel too. See ya.